HadesOmega here. I got this black Yamaha FJ-09. Okay, HadesOmega here. I'm riding a Yamaha FJ-09 in black. Now I love the gauge cluster on this bike. It's so cool. It reminds me of the Super Tenere. A lot. It's pretty much the same one. So let's go over to controls real quick. There's a kind of like there's a pass light thing here. That's interesting. I've never seen that before. The menu is this one. I don't really know what it does. Turn signals, selector switch for different data modes. It feels weird when you got your feet up. It kind of drags on my ankle. It has a huge gear counter on upper right. There's a temperature, ambient temperature, coolant temperature. It's 95 degrees right now. Are you joking? I must not be lying. It feels pretty warm right now. Coolant temp is 165. There's a trip time of 1 minute, so you can run it for a minute. And then there's odometer, fuel averages, CRNT fuel. I think that's current fuel mileage. Your trip 2, odometer, and then back to the engine temps. Feels interesting. So I've pretty much ridden all the 900. Class Yamahas, and this is the most upright of them all. It's the closest thing to like an adventure bike, I suppose. And it fits. I'm 5'10", 175 pounds, and it fits me just right. It fits me perfect. I'm not quite flat-footing it, but you know, like a good amount of my foot is on the ground. So I might go over the when we're stopped again. I'll go over the rest of the gauge cluster. So I'll immediately tell you now that the handlebars seem very wide. It feels like I'm riding a dual sport. It's that familiar dual sport feeling. Or like a, adventure bike riding position. Woo! Very easy to ride. Feels very planet too. Wow, it's 6th gear already. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna change the ride mode. I'm in A mode now. I think I'm just gonna hang out right here where behind the car. It's pretty comfortable standing up. It feels like you're kind of too forward. A mode is nice. Let's try B mode now. Alright, I am in B mode. Yeah, how's it? Yeah, standing is not... the handlebars could be taller, but the handlebars could be taller, but you could stand. but the handlebars are kind of too low for that. It's already got these massive risers on it, and I'm kind of stuck here in traffic, so I get an opportunity to practice slow riding here. Very good throttle response. I like it. It's smooth. Sort of. You kind of have to be a little bit careful, Let's put it back into standard mode, and then we'll see. Standard mode is kind of jerky. Yeah, it's not bad. The throttle is, I think, out of all the 900 Z bikes, Z-ish bikes, I think this one has the nicest throttle response. It's like this, you know, it doesn't jerk as much. And the shifter feels very nice too. Yeah, very nice. I like it. It feels the most, I'll tell you now, it feels the most different out of all the FZ-900 style bikes. It's got the wide handlebars, upright seating position. It's a little bit, the knees are a little bit swept back, little rear controls, but just a little bit. Still pretty upright. I'm just cruising on the freeway here. It's got, you can see it has a large windscreen in the front. Well, I wouldn't say large, but it's pretty large. It's fine. I look at all the little turn signals, and they're bouncing up and down. Very good going over the bumps. The seat is very, very comfortable. So I'm gonna tell you now, this little preview for me for when I go to Japan later this year. I will be renting a MT-09, the Japanese version of this bike, and I can already tell you I'm gonna enjoy it a lot. I'm liking this bike already. It's got all, it's decked out for touring. It's decked out for touring, but you know, it's got that FZ-09 sportiness still, you know. So I mean, yeah, I would call it, it's a sport touring version of the FZ-09 is what it is. Sport, I don't even call it sport touring. It's almost like it, like kind of like an adventure bike almost. But I heard these aren't very good on the dirt. Probably wouldn't want to take it off-road. I mean, you probably could, but very light, you know. Also, it does have a center stand. I was playing with it earlier. It is fairly easy to use. It has a nice grab handle on it. Yeah, it's crazy. The grip feels so long for some reason. Oh, you know what? This doesn't have cruise control though. We don't need no cruise control. Yeah, there's no cruise control on this. Maybe it does have cruise control. Maybe you can get. Maybe there's a model that has cruise control, because I can see there's the little cutouts here for the cruise control. So maybe it does have it. So there's a TCS button here. I don't know what it does. It's not really doing anything. Oh wait, the TCS light is on the bottom. And we've caught up. There's no traction control light. But this seems like this bike does have traction control. There is no cruise control. I don't know if you can get it as an option. It would be nice, because it seems like it kind of belongs on this bike. It has like your typical little mirrors that are mounted on the handlebar, and they look like they work pretty good. They don't vibrate too much. It does have some little hand guards. I think they're plastic hand guards, I think. It seems like it. They're like plastic hand guards. Something is hitting my foot back here. It's the exhaust. The exhaust is right next to your heel. And then center stand is on your other heel. It's a very very strange feeling. I don't like it. I don't like being able to touch the muffler or the center stand with my heel of my foot, especially when I stand up. It's gonna touch it. So that's like a point against it for that. Why Yamaha? Why do that? What if I want to stand on it? So, well, anyway, like I said, it's like an adventure bike, but not really. It's like a wannabe adventure bike is what it seems like. But I bet you could do some light off-road with it. It has some cool looking handguards. I think they're plastic. They don't look like they're metal. They could be. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but they look cool. They look kind of fit together with the bike. So I'm gonna go change it to B mode. I don't know what happened. The gearbox seems like you just want to go just hammer right through it. I mean, you got like 12,000 redline. The engine revs to like the moon. I don't know, it doesn't say there's a redline on this, so I'm assuming it goes up to, tachometer goes to 13,000 RPM. I'm assuming you can rev this to 13,000. It's really vibey at a higher RPM. Yeah, it vibrates a lot. What the heck? At least it has to have 6th gear. We're doing 60 right now, and I'm in 5th gear and a little over 4,000 RPM. In 6th gear, I'm doing 60 and 4,000 RPM. So that's it's got a pretty wide gearbox. There's that eco light on the dash is on. When I get on it, it disappears, so that means you're driving economically. Ambient temp is 82. Coolant temp 174. Pretty cool. It's very comfortable. It's a very smooth ride. I like it. Unfortunately, I can't comment on its handling. I'm getting a lot of, I'm kind of getting some buffeting, or, well, I don't know. It's surprising yeah, if I duck under the windscreen, I can't hear any wind, you know. So the windscreen is a little bit too low for me. If you could raise it a little bit or something, or lower it so it doesn't. It seems like it's very loud inside my helmet. I'm getting a lot of wind noise. So I don't think this windscreen is adjusted properly for me. just going? Are we just going? Yep. Yeah, it vibrates a lot. After 5,000? It's kind of odd. But I mean, it only vibrates at high RPM. This gearbox is so wide, you know. It's so wide, you probably won't feel it vibrate. I hope. I'd like to get this thing up to 70 to see how it does on the freeway. Yeah, the windscreen really isn't helping a lot. I'll tell you that now. If I duck under it, yeah, see, if I duck under it like this, I can't hear any wind anymore. Like, very little wind. So, I don't know, all the ride modes, it seems very tame, the power output, but you know what? It's got a little bit of a jerk to it, but not too much. Man, I don't know what it is, but I just want to hammer through the gears on this thing. Like, I like to short shift on it. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. Just going through the gears really fast, you know? Maybe it could be because I'm just accelerating hard. I don't know. But just, you know, it just feels right, you know? The shifting. You know how like some bikes don't have a tachometer and you don't know when to shift? It's, speaking of the gauge cluster, I can already tell you now, I'm most of the time I'm not looking at it when I'm riding. It's way down there. You gotta tilt your head down to look at it a lot, you know. So I mean, it feels uncomfortable. I kind of don't like that either. Yeah, it's like way down there. I mean, yeah, okay, I understand. You should probably be keeping your eye on the road, you know. Yeah, you should probably be keeping your eye on the road. Oh. Squeak. Nice. Oh yeah. It's got some pretty beefy suspension. The back preload is pretty light. You could probably put more preload on it. Especially if you were going to put more luggage. It doesn't have a funny whirring sound like the XSR also. I think out of all the 900 bikes, I think this is my favorite. It is the bulkiest though, I'll tell you that. The bulkiest, and it takes up the most space. But I think overall, I think I like the FJ-09. Yeah, I like the FJ-09, but this bike, it fits me good too. I like it. It just feels good. It feels good to me. It does have a power outlet here on the side. I guess instead of stop, I'll go talk about the gauge cluster. On the upper left, it's a clock. It's 220 right now. There's a tachometer. Like an F1 style tachometer, goes up to 13,000 RPM. There's no red line on it, so I don't know where the red line is. I'm assuming it's 13,000. Oh, what happened here? Alright, and then under it is a huge speedometer, and under that is a fuel gauge. So everything is just large print, and they have a lot of real estate, and it doesn't seem like they use it too much of it. And then under that is your modes and your eco light. On the right cluster is your gear shift, and then your menu controls that I mentioned earlier. It has like your trip functions and coolant temps and all that cool stuff. What does this menu button do? I have no idea. What about this traction control? Oh, okay, there you go. So to turn traction control on and off, you gotta hold it down. I think it has traction control now. Yeah. So I'm in the B mode. I've been doing B mode. Let's just go to the standard mode. And then just try to ride it like a civilized person. Yeah. Now it feels like more like a FZ-07, you know? This does have traction control, so that, I mean, it does have traction control over the FZ-09. It's pretty cool. I think it's a great all-around bike for touring and, you know, aggressive riding. If you wanted to track it, you probably could, you know. It's feels a little big, but I wish I could comment on the handling, but we haven't really done any cornering work at all. So we're just kind of just putting around. It's too bad. Clutch pull is okay. Clutch pull is okay. Brakes are okay. It's got these little wind deflectors. It doesn't have heated grips, but I guess it's okay. You got these little wind deflectors here. You could always add heated grips. Yeah, it feels like a pretty meaty bike. I don't like that the exhaust is right back there, and your heel hits the center stand. I'll try standing, and then we'll see. But like the bars are so low that you kind of just leaning forward a little bit. It's not. This bike really wasn't designed to be standing with, you know. It's not a stand-up ride bike, even though it seems like it. I think you can adjust. I don't know what this is. No, I don't think you can adjust the windscreen.